Good morning. It's definitely getting a little later on in the morning. It's been snowing all morning, so I was kind of hiding out inside. I had some emails to send, and then I've been talking to a few different people that have been ordering some feed today, wondering what they should switch to over the winter for wintering pigs and things like that. Of course, I'm not an animal nutritionist, but I have some ideas. So, and then the Google box, you can generally figure out what you need. Hey there. So I was just on the phone with a guy from up in Peace River. He was inquiring about some chicken feed, so we had a pretty good chat. While I was talking to him, I was looking at this garden hose. My wife drug it in here last night. It was frozen. So this garden hose basically has plagued me for about the last 4 years. I never understood why I could not. It was one that broke, so I can't find one now, but when you're walking up and down PV Mart, UFA, any hardware store, they're all, you get to the garden hose section and it's all hanging there, eh? Like, these fittings, what do they look like? They kind of look like this. Right, there's one. So you cut your garden hose in half, you slide this in there. If this end has been driven over or broke or crushed or whatever, whatever size garden hose you have, this is, what is this? The female end. This is the male end here. So yeah, you slide it in, boom, you fixed your garden hose. Okay, so that happened to this garden hose, and we put this end on, and it drips and drips and drips and drips and drips. So what do? Okay, well, you add another clamp, and maybe these small ones don't work, so we'll add a wider one, a bigger one, a longer one, and then pretty soon you have so much clamps here, and every time you try to undo it, you got the overage from the clamp sticking over, and it cuts into the side of your hand, and you have to pretty much just snap and go on a rampage all over a garden hose. So I was eyeballing this thing, and I was thinking, there has to be a way. Like, why does it always drip? How come I can't fix this thing? So I got the old grinder out and I ground it off because that's the best way to do it. So then I'm looking in there and I'm like, what? Get out of town. There's a piece in there that runs all the way down, that hard plastic gizmo. Well, obviously if that's in there and you put in the stem of the new end, and then you put a clamp around it, it's not smooth. So it's obviously not going to seal. So I carved that out of there. Actually, what I did is I took the right size drill bit and I just drilled down in there so it's all nice and smooth, and then I put a small clamp on there, and then voila, it doesn't leak. So if you're like me and you've been, you're probably not. Most people could probably figure things out quicker, but that's what you got to do. If you're trying to fix your garden hose, you got to look inside there and you got to see if it's smooth. If it's not smooth, it's not going to work. It's going to drip forever, and you're going to keep adding clamps, and you're going to keep adding, wrapping it with tape, and it's going to keep leaking, and one day you're going to snap, and depending on how much you overreact is how severe the snap is going to be. And then, it's still going to leak, no matter how much you get mad. But if you bring it in the shop, and you actually have a look at it, and you look down in there, and you see what the problem is, and remedy it, it's not a big deal. So, if you have a leaking garden hose, or probably any hose for that matter, I'm not sure what purpose that little thing in the garden hose serves. I'm pretty sure it's just there to see what the general public will tolerate, where their threshold is for stupidity, because I can't imagine it being having any other purpose. Anyways, I got that done. I'm going to go in now, I'm going to have lunch, and then I'm going to come back out and do these brakes. Good evening. So I'm just getting ready to head in for supper. I did get the brakes tightened up on this, and then we noticed there was a hydraulic sender leaking here. So we got that changed. We actually had one. Crazy thing too, I was going to do an oil change on this, and we had these random old oil filters sitting around from various things, swathers, or actually equipment we don't even have anymore. So with the cross-reference thing on the internet, I typed in the Wix number off of here, and then the Napa number off of here. Boom, this is going to fit. So I'm going to change the oil in this. I'll do that probably tomorrow. because it hasn't been running. But down in here and up in here, turn the light on. So it's not a very hard thing to do for sure, but we're not understanding why it keeps getting so loose that the brakes don't work. So up on top, if you can see that nut, all you do is tighten that nut down. Now there is a little gear, the gear on the bottom of the nut, there's actually supposed to be a tab that flips around and holds that nut from loosening off. So that's, I guess that could be that with that tab gone. I find it hard to believe that it would loosen off. So anyways, yeah, you just tighten that down and then you have brakes again. So not really hard to do, but so yeah, not hard to do. It's just frustrating to have to keep doing it. So, because last winter, I think we put like all new brakes in there. New brake, they got a weird looking system, or they have a weird looking system. I'd never seen it before. It's like 4 balls and then they're recessed into a thing. And when the one side stops, it rolls on the balls and then pushes out and then stops the other side. I don't know. It's a very poor system, but that's what Case Backhoe decided to do, I guess. So anyways, for now I got brakes. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna have supper. What time is it? It's just a little bit after 6. It's like raining and windy and cold. It's super icy outside now, or super slippery, I should say. So it's really not that fun to try to do like a bunch of outside tasks. You end up like walking around all tensed, and then your body's sore after that. So, and then if you slip and fall and break your body, you're no good for anybody. So I might just have supper and then grab a shower and call it a night. All right, so that's it for me for the night. To everybody that watches, thank you very much for that. See y'all tomorrow.